Alright, hopefully this should just be a pretty quick one. Um, so this is what Spice, I don't know how you say it, Spicetify, I think is how you say it, Spicetify. This is what Spicetify can look like. This is one of quite a few user-generated themes that I've seen. I liked this one, so I kind of stopped here, but there's a bunch that I downloaded that I haven't even tried out yet. But basically, Spicetify lets you theme Spotify. So I mean, this is drastically different from what default Spotify looks like. It's really cool. Like, I'm gonna keep on using this, but yeah, I mean, just check it out for a little bit. I like it. So what I'm gonna be showing today is basic Windows installation for this thing. I mean, it's already pretty easy. They give you most of the directions, but I feel like there's some things that just may not be too clear and some things that you might feel a little uncomfortable doing for the first time. So I'm gonna reassure that comfortableness and explain what's going on and get you set up with this app in like less than 15 minutes. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a user-friendly UI, so I guess that's probably going to be the most benefit is understanding what you need to change to work with this thing from a non-technical. Cool. So this app comes from have any more? Spicetify-CLI on GitHub. You can see the URL up here. An easy way to find this on the web is to Google GitHub Spicetify CLI, and pretty much the first link that comes up. Make sure it's from this Conhas guy. Conhas Spicetify CLI. CLI means command line tool. That means we are going to be typing some commands into PowerShell on Windows to get this working. They show two default or two types of themes here that they have that you can make this thing look like. So I mean, you can just see how drastically different it is by each individual theme. Then there's ones like I guess they didn't show in the screenshot. There's some pretty cool ones where this uh, album art overlays the progress bar and the music, and I mean, there's a bunch of creative things you can do with it because it's just CSS and JS. Speaks in the pretty much becoming unanimous programming language, or what's the word for it? Not unanimous, but the uniting programming language. I'm not sure what the multi-language, common language of programmers, I guess is a good way to say it. With JavaScript and CSS, so a lot, very accessible if you want to make your own. Let's just click on the first link, go to installation here. So right away we have some weird stuff going on. We just want to scroll down to Windows, and you can grab this entire thing, copy it, press Control C on the keyboard or right click. You want to open up your Windows menu. There's a key on your keyboard. You can use that if you have it. And we're gonna search for PowerShell. It should say Windows PowerShell and pretty much look just like that. It should automatically It should automatically CD you. CD means change directory. Change directory to your current user folder. So they say here, you just want to install this thing. It doesn't really matter where you are for this command. This is basically your folder structure on your PC, right? So I'm in C:users smack T right now. I am smack T on this computer. I don't even remember making that. Anyway, so we copied this thing. What this is going to do is this is going to, as it says, invoke a web request. So it's looking for a request out to the internet. This is a helper function that's going to parse this URL for this parent function, and we're going to go out to the GitHub, Thomas, who owns Spotify CLI, and that's going to invoke a PowerShell script that's downloaded from the web, and this is PowerShell, remember, and it's going to be a script that's going to run some things on your PC. And then this basically says run this command at the very end. So we got some things happen. We set ourselves up for a web request that downloads a PowerShell script, and that then invokes the entire, it invokes this string of command. Meaning it just starts, it runs it basically, just runs the script. Let's do that. Mine We'll see if mine works. I've already installed it and I'm not uninstalling it, so I'll just enter it and we'll see if I can get it. Yeah, cool. So it looks like it still works. It's just gonna overwrite everything on my PC, but this is basically what it should look like. You want everything installed correctly, and that's good. So now you have access to the CLI commands that this library gives us, the Spicetify. CLI commands being command line interface, again, command line interface command. So we have additional things that we can type here. This is a command line interface. It's a way to interface with a command line. Command line being a programming language that's used to control your computer in a nutshell. But normally we can type, things like CD, this changes directory. KD makes a directory, makes a new folder. That comes with Windows, things that are simple like that. Maybe we want to get rid of everything that's on here, we type clear, press enter. I don't want to do that yet because we will do that. Those are things that come with Windows. This gives us more commands. So we access these more commands by first prefixing with Spicetify. That's the global path variable is what it's called, that got installed on your PC to allow you to be in. So this library now is going to interpret what we are going to send it. So that we scroll down here, we don't have Linux or Mac OS pre-built. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's literally all you need. If you're Windows, you just get this for this file. We're going to move on in the wiki here. Click on basic usage. That's the next thing we need to check out. So it wants us to generate a config. So we just run the basic CLI command and press enter. So we typed it in Spicetify and we pressed enter. That should pop up and say you generate a config file. Mine already has one, so it's not going to do anything. You should see something for a config file in that folder. Actually, I wonder if I delete it. Try and delete it real quick. Oh. Cool. Default config.ini generated, and that's fine. I'll reconfigure my theme. I'm going to do that anyway. And reconfigure my config. I haven't done much with it yet, regardless, except just change the theme. So we're good there. Cool. So we run this, and it says make sure config file is created successfully and there is no error. The config file, it said, I guess I didn't output a path for it, but the config file will be generated in your users directory of the user that you're currently logged in as. So if you want to go to C:users, and your user that you should be logged in as should be in a list here. Whatever your PowerShell popped up with the default path, that will also tell you what current user you are. So I have SMAKT here, SMACT. Click on SMACT, and I want to look for the Spicetify folders. There should be 2 of them in this directory somewhere here. First is .spicetify. This is going to be our main directory that we're going to use the most. So you can even keep track of this by doing something like under the quick access menu, pin current folder to quick access. That'll help you get back to this fairly easily. Go back to my desktop, come back to folder. But the config.ini is here. That's what we're looking for. That's what it wanted to make sure that got generated. We can click back. Oh, that is so weird how it might be. Anyway, you want to come back to your user directory up here. And then you want to go you want to come back to the user directory, and we want to verify the other location. We already did verify it's in here, but we want to look in Spotify or Spicetify-CLI as well. Actually, I guess I didn't really care about this one. I was sure that you could have one in here, but I guess let's just forget that portion for now. I thought there was going to be another config.ini in here, but I guess not. It's just in this home directory where it will be specified. So this basically controls the configuration values for Spicetify to load to apply to Spotify. An ini file is just it's just a config file. It's like any other file that's on your PC, which is it's just text. Something has to interpret the text. A lot of times that can look really weird text, like DLLs. That's compressed information and can only be read by a machine, but this is going to be human readable information. So we want to open this file. Most likely, you may not even have file extensions turned on if you want to make sure that it's an ini file. you can come up top here to the file menu when I click view, and then you do show hidden items and file name extensions. We always want to see those because we always want to know what we're opening. I think it's a good idea for everybody to get used to something like that. So you can see what mine looks like before. Realize menu is going to be coming away. That's annoying. Gets rid of that. It's just called configs, and that's good. It's an ini file, not running anything malicious. Exe would be like MSI would be executable, so we don't want to run those. So we want to open this with something. You most likely don't have values set for this, and it probably doesn't know what to open it with. I would just right click, open with. I use a code editor to open this. That's okay. If you have one, two, you can definitely use that, right? And you probably already have. Some popular ones might be called Notepad++ or Sublime Text. I use VS Code. You don't have to use this. It just makes things a little prettier to read. We can use Notepad or WordPad. Like I said, they're text files. So let's use Notepad to edit this thing. And this is pretty much what I'm expecting here. This specifies types of options for the developer, and then they read and they want to say everything that equals, we're looking for this parameter and what this is going to be. They take in this text, it's all formatted in a very specific way. You don't want to mess with the formatting. We just want to change the value. So one can be something else, or maybe a path to Spotify might be different now. What we're really concerned with is the current theme. This is going to specify how you can change the theme of Spicetify to change on Spotify. So right now mine's set to Spicetify default. When I shared, this is not the default theme. This is one that I made. But because I just changed my config, I can now update this. You want to press Control-Shift-R on the keyboard to force a refresh on this. Spotify, I'm pretty sure, is just built in HTML, CSS on like this thing. I can't remember what it's called. It begins with an EX, like Exelon or Exxon or something. The browser, but it's a browser for the web. It's a browser that runs on your PC that lets you write apps in the language of the web, which is JS. But that's unimportant for now. We're just going to press Control-Shift-R and refresh this. And I guess mine didn't update right. So my theme hasn't updated yet. It's still using the old theme because I haven't run the update command. But cool. Actually, let me just run that so we're on the same page real quick. We're going to come back to what I'm doing right here in a second, but this is just going to force my update to happen. I refresh, and my theme is back. Correct. That's what happened. This is the default theme. This is what you should see now when you installed Spicetify, when Spotify restarted. This is what you should see. If you aren't seeing this, you can run Spicetify update. I made that command pop back up again by pressing the up arrow restores recent commands that you've entered. I press the up arrow and it shows the command. Try running that and you'll get your theme to update. But let's do something a little bit more now because we want to actually configure this, right? I'm gonna show you how to change themes, and then I'm gonna show you how to edit themes. So let's first get a bunch of cool themes installed. And we're going to come out to this guy. Morphus the White has compiled a GitHub repo of lots of different themes for this thing. So to get those themes, we're going to make this. I'm going to show you how to do it first with the command line, and then I'll show you how to do it again with Windows moving. So come over to here. This repository, you can find it by doing, let's see, GitHub Morpheus the White, spicy. Oh, sorry. Is that what it's called? Spicetify, right? Spicetify themes. Again, I'll have these links in the description. Or I guess this can be a YouTube video. It'll be a video, and I'll have those links somewhere on whatever the appropriate platform, YouTube description, or I guess maybe I'll put them in Twitch chat right now. Themes, and this is the first link that you'll need to even get here, basic usage. I guess I probably should be pasting this right now, but the second one is the first one you want to click, and the first one is the second one. The second one that I just posted is not the one you want to be on. You want to be on themes. You can read the URL. It's pretty what you're clicking on. Okay. Cool. So once we get here and we see the themes, I want you to come over here and click clone or download. Click this button. This will copy this to your clipboard, and you'll get this URL copied. We want the URL. If we continue reading about how to update themes. Guess maybe we don't need to update it yet. I'll save us the trouble of having to figure it out and just say that the place that you want to put, so you want to put a bunch of your different themes into a folder that this program can recognize. So we want to navigate into the Spicetify directory and go to the themes folder. So type cd Spicetify / themes. Actually, I spelled that wrong. You can use your arrow key to come back. It should be .Spicetify because that's what the folder is. You can actually see it. I typed ls earlier. That means list. That's going to show us all the folders in the current directory they're in. You can see .Spicetify is right there. That's where we want to go into. And I know that there's a themes folder inside of there. So that's what I'm going to get ahead and say go to the themes directory afterwards. So it takes us in there, and we're in the side of this folder. Inside of here, I want you to type git. Ooh. This is only if you have GitHub. That's correct. Wow, I totally made that assumption. If you have Git, this is the only way you can do this. So maybe you're not gonna be able to see it. Well, that sucks. If you have Git, you can do this. I'm not gonna go into. I guess we could do a really basic install git bash is what you would Google for. Again, like you don't have to do this. I'm gonna show you a better way in a second. Git for Windows, maybe? Yeah, this is what you want. Git for Windows, and that's what you would do. And you would click download, and it would download you an exe, and you would run this exe, and the exe does the same thing that we just did with Spicetify, but for a different set of commands that let you access to this global command object called git, and git is what's going to download this for us. So you click git clone, and paste the URL. Probably a PowerShell way to do this, because all we're doing is just cloning a directory into another directory. Maybe not, maybe, but that'll clone everything, and it can, it just downloaded all of the folder. So cool. So you probably won't be able to do that. So let's do this in a way that you can do. Still going to come back here to the cloner, downloading the themes URL. You're just going to click download zip. This gives us the whole file. This will be everything that's on this page. You can click into these folders. You want to see what they are beforehand. Some people are nice enough to even include screenshots that you can see just right here what this thing looks like. So when you want to change themes quickly. I guess everybody has a screenshot. I didn't know that. I thought that was only in the folder level. Cool. So you can actually click in here and just see what the different themes are that people have made. Oh, look, it's a Tycho theme. That's pretty good. This is a great artist. Pretty neat. Let's do I like the one that I had, so we're gonna do Pop Dark. A different theme. Oh, these are all so drastic. I'm not sure which one I want to do now. I guess let's do Pop Dark again. Why not, right? So I already have those folders over there, but you do not. So you download the zip right here. Come down to the zip file. Let's do a show in folder, and then we'll do an extract. If you have 7-zip, you can do extract here. If you do not, you can use the Windows default and extract all. We'll use that for this video. We just want to extract it to this folder that we're currently in. Hit the extract button. It opens you up with a new window, but you can see it's right there as well. You could close out this window or just use it. You want to copy this, that's right. Copy and then let's come back to where we were in Spicetify in our other directory. Go into the themes folder, and you can see I already have them there, but I actually don't want the main folder. I just want everything inside of here. So you can do the same thing, come in here, copy all of these as well. Actually, I don't. Well, this is what you'd want to do. This basically. Just, I'm not going to do that because I already have them. Yeah, so I made them happen. I brought them in there anyway, even though I wasn't intending to. Anyway, that is that. So now we have all the themes available. So now let's actually apply a theme. Applying a theme is going to happen through your config file. Remember this, we opened this a while ago at this point. Right now my theme is set to Spicetify default. This is default Spicetify skin looks. It just looks like blends right in with my computer, but I don't want a light theme. I don't. It's it's hard on my eyes, so I want something a little different. I come back to this folder and I see all the theme names that we could possibly be referring to, and we're just gonna type the name of the folder. So in this case, I'm gonna do pop-dark, and you want to save this file. If you can see at the top when it's not saved. So I've edited it. Star config. That means it's not saved. Press Control C, or I'm sorry, Control S. That saves, or you can come up here to File, Save. You see, there's a shortcut. Hit save, and the star goes away, and now it's saved. It doesn't know about the update yet, so we come over here and we type Spicetify update. You can type that anywhere, it doesn't matter what directory you're in. It says custom CS updated, and we come back over to Spotify, and we need to tell Spotify to refresh as well. We can do that by pressing Control Shift R on the keyboard, and it refreshes, and you have a new theme applied. And that's pretty much all you need to do. Let's just close out of everything and go from the beginning, as if you had come back to this a week later and just want to see how do I change this theme. You're gonna think all these themes. Maybe I don't like this one anymore. This is boring. I don't like the colors on here. It's hard to see. So you press your Windows key. You want to PowerShell. Again, you want to type PowerShell because you need the Spicetify command. That's okay how it starts out right here. This is all you need. And let's navigate in our file explorer to our themes folder. Remember, you made a favorite of that. If you did not make a favorite of that, do C:, users, yourself. You can tell yourself is again by looking at PowerShell. .Spicetify themes are a list of available themes that you have to this folder. Additionally, you can get this list by typing cd Spicetify/themes, and then you press enter, so you navigate to Spicetify themes directory, then type ls on your keyboard, press enter. Ls means list. You can see all the themes that you have available to you. You'll need to navigate over here anyway to change this config file. There's probably a text editor for PowerShell, but I don't use PowerShell. I use Bash on Linux, Mac. So I'm not used to this one, so I'll just say to open this config with Notepad. Your theme is currently set to Pop Dark. Coming back here to pick a new theme. Let's do how about Tycho Awake? Copy this? Maybe? Nice, I can copy from there. I just double click to press Control C. Unedited file, Control S, or file save. Save this file. Edit, saying that it is no longer unedited and got saved now without the star. Current theme Tycho Awake did not update yet because PowerShell and type Spicetify update. It still hasn't updated yet, so we need to refresh Spotify with Control. And not much different there because I didn't realize it was going to be that not much different. I thought it was going to be way more orange than that. But that's just probably another reason why you should browse the theme over here first. Take a look at thing that you might think you'll like more, before just applying them randomly. Because I really like that one. Actually, we're going to change that to Shadow Custom. See? Great. What we're doing now. Up arrow to repeat the previous command. Not too bad. I mean, it's kind of annoying that you gotta do a few of these different things, but this is a free tool that does something pretty cool, and even the author in his repo source wishes that there were some changes to it. I think he even says, I don't know where I saw it, but I know he said something like, somebody who could actually knows how to write a programming language could do that, turn this into a full-time app. That'd be pretty cool too. Feel bad for the guy to think about that like that because he wrote something that's pretty neat here. But I mean, I also think that he's not too far off the mark in what he's suggesting, because you know that process is a bit annoying. We could have some kind of a daemon task that runs on the PC that updates this process, or maybe restarts Spotify when there's an update to the config. It's saved, or CLI command run. I don't. You can definitely automate more about it. But props to this guy so far. I think this is a pretty cool project, and discovering that you can do this is also really nice. I have a lot to learn here. Anyway, that's pretty much it for. Sorry for the confusion in the middle between git commands and the folder moving, but not too bad. Yeah, I had to repeat that. I guess I'll upload this to YouTube too, if that matters. All right, I'm done. Peace.